What if the one thing standing between you and the life you actually want is something you're choosing to carry? Think about that for a second. Not your circumstances, not the economy, not the people around you. You choosing every single day to pick up the same weight and drag it forward into your future. That's not a comfortable thought. I know, but the most important conversations are rarely the comfortable ones. My name is John, and in the next few minutes, I want to challenge the way you think about what you call your story, because here's what I promise you. By the time we're done, you won't just understand why people stay stuck. You'll have 3 concrete tools to start breaking free. Today, not someday, today. Let's talk about the problem, and let's be honest about it. Most people walking this earth are not living their lives. They are reliving their past over and over and over again. You know the person I'm talking about. Maybe you are that person, the one who still replays that conversation from 3 years ago, the one who hesitates before every opportunity because the last time they tried something bold, it didn't work out, the one who says, "I want change," but wakes up tomorrow and does the exact same thing they did yesterday. We call this being stuck, but I want to give it a more precise name. This is attachment to pain as identity. See, here's what happens to human beings when they go through something hard: a failure, a betrayal, a loss, a humiliation. The brain does something remarkable. It records it in high definition with surround sound, and it stores it somewhere deep. And it says, "Remember this. This defines you now." And suddenly, your past experience becomes your present personality. The wound becomes the wallpaper. You start to introduce yourself through your pain. I'm the person who was cheated on. I'm the person who got fired. I'm the person who never seems to catch a break. And every morning you wake up, you put on that identity like a coat, and then you wonder why it feels so heavy to move. So what is the turning point? What is the shift that changes everything? It's this. You have to stop confusing your history with your destiny. Your past is data. It is not a sentence. It is not a life sentence. Think about your smartphone for a moment. Right now, on that phone, there are probably hundreds of old photos, old messages, old files you no longer need. And here's the thing. The more you fill that storage with old data, the slower the phone runs. It glitches. It freezes. It can't download anything new. You are the phone. Every unresolved grudge, every story you keep retelling about why you can't, every version of yourself you refuse to let die is taking up storage, and your system is running slow. Letting go is not weakness. Let me say that again because someone in this room needs to hear it. Letting go is not weakness. It is the most disciplined, most intentional, most courageous act a human being can perform. It takes zero courage to hold on. Holding on is automatic. Your nervous system does it for free, but releasing requires a decision, and decisions require power. Your power. Let me tell you about a man named David. David was a talented engineer, brilliant mind, ambitious. At 32 years old, he pitched a business idea to 3 different investors, and all 3 said no. One of them laughed in his face. David went home that night and made a decision. Not the decision you might expect. He didn't decide to try again. He decided that he was not someone who deserved to succeed. He took one afternoon of rejection and turned it into a 20-year belief system. For 2 decades, every time an opportunity appeared, David heard that laugh. He'd pull back, play small, choose the safer path, tell himself he was being realistic. When I spoke with David, he was 53 years old, and he told me something that I will never forget. He said, "I didn't fail at business, I succeeded at staying afraid." That sentence hit me like a freight train, because David wasn't lacking talent. He wasn't lacking opportunity. He was lacking permission. Permission he was waiting for someone else to give him, that only he could give himself. The moment David named that pattern, something shifted. Within 18 months, he launched a consulting practice. It wasn't perfect, but it was his, and for the first time in 20 years, he felt like the author of his own life, instead of a character in someone else's story. So, how do you actually do it? How do you let go? Here are 3 steps you can begin applying right now. Step number 1, name it to diffuse it. You cannot release what you refuse to acknowledge. Most people carry their pain in silence because naming it feels like weakness. But silence is not strength. Silence is just postponement. Get a journal, get a quiet space, and write down, in clear language, what you are still holding. What experience? What person? What version of yourself? Name it. Look at it directly, because the moment you bring it into the light, it loses half its power. Step number 2. Separate the event from the meaning. This is where most people get stuck. They are not actually attached to the event. They are attached to the story they built around it. The rejection wasn't proof you're unworthy. It was feedback that that particular door, at that particular moment, was not your door. The relationship that ended didn't prove you're unlovable. It proved that 2 people grew in different directions. Events are neutral. The meaning is something you assigned, and what you assigned, you can reassign. Step number 3, choose a future self and start acting from that place. Not when you feel ready, not when the fear disappears. Fear doesn't disappear before action. It disappears because of action. Ask yourself, who is the version of me that has already moved past this? How does that person speak? How do they carry themselves? What decisions do they make on a Tuesday morning? And then, be that person today. Not perfectly, just directionally. One step, then another, then another. Here's how I want to leave you. The life you want is not on the other side of a perfect plan. It is not waiting for the right moment, the right conditions, the right amount of preparation. It is on the other side of a decision to stop giving the past a vote in your future, a decision to stop letting old pain write new chapters, a decision to look at everything you've been carrying, and finally, with courage and with grace, set it down. You are not your worst moment. You are not your biggest failure. You are not the story that someone else told about you or the story you've been telling about yourself. You are what you choose to become. Starting now, starting today, the weight you've been carrying was never yours to keep forever. It was yours to learn from. You've learned. Now let it go.